Thanks a lot, Paul. Calling all volunteers who are interested in helping to preserve the Hawaiian language. A nonprofit group is looking for people around the world to help make 60,000 pages of Hawaiian language newspapers accessible on the internet. Now, the papers are currently being housed in Hawaii archival collections as originals and microfilmed images. Joining us this morning, Puakea Nogelmeyer and Kauisai Dudua. Thank you so much for joining us early this morning. Tell us, first of all, about the importance of making these 60,000 pages accessible and searchable.
Well, they've always been accessible in a way. You could sit at a microfilm reader, or you could go to an archive and put on your white gloves and walk through them. But that doesn't make them searchable, and it's really not good access. This makes the record of Hawaiian history from 1834 to 1948 suddenly open to search. Right. It'll still be in Hawaiian, but at least you can find it. Right.
And you're looking for volunteers around the world to do.
We are. The project we tried for 8 years under Ho'olaupa'i with the Bishop Museum to accomplish this, but it was too costly. It required Hawaiian language proficient operators. It just took too much. In 10 years, we've only done 15,000 pages. There's 125,000 pages of newspapers. We've only identified 75. We have 60,000 more to go. Wow. And we can't do it on our own. We need
And you don't
help.
want to take another 10 years.
We don't.
Or another, no, that would
or
be
another
40
generation.
years.
40 years, sure.
But the 15,000 that were opened in 10 years has shown what is really in there. That these aren't just old newspapers that you would compost in the yard. This was actually a national repository. This is, by consensus, the Hawaiians and all the Hawaiian speakers at the time decided this was a safe place to put knowledge that many of them had held for generations.
Right. We're seeing some
so
right
it's
here.
really, yeah,
right.
These are, well, that's an example of the moka'ainan out there on the left.
And now tell me what volunteers need to be able to do. I mean, you're asking for volunteers all over the world who could help you with this project.
They need to be patient. They've got an old newspaper to look at, and they just type what they see. You don't have to be fluent in Hawaiian. You don't even have to be a fast typist. You just have to be careful.
And it's not really exciting work. It's kind of boring, really. But the
so you
impact
both have
that
done
it'll
it.
have.
We've both done it for years.
Too many
yeah.
of them. But you know what? What they gain from it is the knowledge. They gain familiarity with the repository. But they get to be a part of something larger. They get to be a part of an effort that saves this legacy for future generations of Hawaii. History books will be rewritten. Science will be redone. So many parts of Hawaii will be redone by what's contained in the newspapers.
And that sounds maybe romantic or overlarge, but already, just from the block that we've done, we've changed like the weather record here.
Right.
And an example of searchable and accessible is we were actually asked by the meteorology people, track weather backwards, track weather reports. We found 4,000 articles on weather. But the searchable part we finished in a week, found 500 articles. The rest of it had to be manually walked through and scanned, look for articles. That took 4 months.
Wow.
So we found 3,500 more, but 4 months long. We could have done the whole 4,000 in a few weeks, actually.
Okay.
So that's what it'll do for access.
Okay, and your initiative is called the Ike Ku'oko'a Initiative?
You're good.
Okay,
But they log on.
They
go to awaiaulu.org.
Spell that for everybody.
It's AWAIAULU.
Okay.
.org.
.org.
Yeah.
Okay. Awaiaulu.
Yes.
Awaiaulu.org.
And it has a lot more information there.
Okay.
And as of tomorrow morning, you can register as a volunteer.
Great.
Today it has a pre-registration, but tomorrow it'll be open for registration.
Thank you so much, Puakea. Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Kauai.
Thank you.